Okay, everybody, it's now 7:30, and I'd like to call to order this evening's Township of Oldbridge Planning Board regular meeting for... It's so nice I said it twice. For this evening, September 28th, 2023, and if we could all rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and I'd like to remind everybody we're televised for the duration of the meeting up until 10 o'clock this evening, which I don't think it's going to go that long.
Adequate notice of the meeting of the Old Bridge Township Planning Board has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of the meeting by prominently posting the municipal complex an announcement given the time, date, location, and agenda of this meeting, mailing such announcement to the Home News Tribune, and filing such copy announcement with the municipal clerk. Ms. Cannon?
Here.
Mr. Lenning?
Here.
Mr. Makis?
Here.
Mr. De Palma?
Here.
Mr. Lauer?
Here.
Mr. Renna?
Here.
Mr. Petty? He's absent. Ms. Masella?
Here.
Mr. McIsaac?
Here.
Mr. Brennan?
Here.
And Chairman Marucci.
Here. Okay, initially we had two applications on the agenda, the first being MDM at Old Bridge, and the second 341 Route 34, and those both have been adjourned. So the only thing, well, there are two things, but the first thing on the agenda is a completeness waiver, and that is number 35, 2023P for LE Development Group LLC, and it's a major preliminary and final site plan with C variances.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Dante Alfieri on behalf of the applicant. I'm glad all of you decided to come out for this simple, hopefully simple item. We are here seeking a few waiver items with regards to our application. This application was previously approved back in, I believe, in 2018, and we're here seeking, well, we will be here before the board seeking an amended site plan approval. I don't know if you want me to go through the list or...
Microphone.
Board, if you may recall, this application was approved in 2018 after a number of public hearings, and it was for a commercial development for roughly 34,000 square feet. Now the applicant is coming back with a modification. They have reduced the number of retail square footage. It's come down to approximately 15,500 square feet, and they would like to add 46 apartments on top of the retail use. So they're requesting waiver from the environmental impact, aquifer recharge, name of all streets, location of existing wooded areas, and the generalized size and type of predominant trees, and tree permit plan. My recommendation to the board is that we waive the name of all streets. Actually, that is not applicable because they're not adding new streets. Partially waiving item 40C and 52, which relates to the trees, because in the past too, we have allowed developers to proceed, at least for completeness part, and they could address that. Should the board act favorably, then they can address that during compliance stage. However, I recommend the board does not waive the environmental impact and the aquifer recharge assessment. This was provided at the original application completeness part of it. I am asking for an update because it's 5 years since the approval, and we did have two pre-application meetings with the developer where we had indicated that we would require updates on the environmental. So I would recommend denying those two waivers.
Okay. Anything else, Gina?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the board members?
Yes, one question. Location, where is it? Which
Across
location?
the street.
See the address?
It's across the street from the town hall, so it's the intersection, the north, wait, let me orient myself, southeast quadrant of the intersection of Cottrell and 516.
Is it diagonal? From the, okay.
Yes, so diagonally opposite from the municipal complex, opposite to Cottrell Farms.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, Mr. Lauer?
Vina, could you tell me, are apartments allowed in that?
Yes, they are, and that is why they are in front of the planning board.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor? Anything? Okay, we're all good. Okay, and I'm in agreement, you know, on the aquifer and the environmental. So, does that complete your testimony? Is there anything else?
Nothing to add, Chairman.
Okay. This maybe may beat the 6 minutes.
I
Okay,
have a
so.
speech written if you want to make.
All right, so with that, we will, there's no public portion when we have a completeness waiver, so we'll put it to a vote. And,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'll just do a quick summary. A vote in favor will be a vote to waive item 39D and for a temporary waiver of 40C and 52, which those would be required if approval is granted on the underlying application, will be required at the time of filing final compliance review after the approval.
okay. Very good. Okay, so do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
By Mr. Lenning, and a second?
I'll second
By
it.
Mr. Renner.
Ms. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Yemakis?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes,
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty? Absent. Ms. Masella?
Yes.
And Chairman Marucci.
Yes,
Thank you, Chairman. Members
you.
of the board, we appreciate your time tonight.
thank you. Okay, now, next up, Vina and Joe had a discussion, and we're going to add into the agenda a correction to a previous resolution that we need to make, and I'm going to pass that off to Joe and let him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, if the board recalls, back in July of the July 27th board meeting this past year, we adopted a resolution on the Seaman Brothers Marketplace application number 13-2023P. This was the application for allowing a restaurant in the existing retail structure. In that resolution, there was a condition that which was a carryover from a prior resolution, it just wasn't caught prior to adoption, that they enter into a redevelopment agreement with the township. That's not applicable for this property. So I would ask if the board would consider adopting a motion to correct that resolution, to remove that one condition from the resolution so that they can complete their compliance review. So a motion to, in favor of it would be to correct the resolution by removing that one condition with regard to the required agreement that was previously adopted.
Okay? Thank you,
Joe, if I may.
Vina?
Joe, if I may. So, board members, I'm sorry for the last-minute addition, but I received the plans for compliance. The applicant is anxious to proceed because there is a restaurant that's going to go in that shopping complex, and actually their plans are compliant. They have met with all the conditions, but I cannot sign off because of this one condition, and I don't want to hold them for another month to fix the resolution, and that's why I wanted to add it.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better meeting to squeeze it in.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, guys. So,
We need a motion.
okay, so do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Cannon?
Second.
And a second? Okay.
Ms. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Yemakis?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
yes,
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
And Chairman Marucci. Chairman?
Yes. Sorry. Joe interrupted me.
Sorry. That was-
I can't do two things at once anymore.
Mr. Chairman, I know you addressed previously the adjournment of the two applications. Just, I do need to make an announcement. I know this really, I don't know if anyone, member of the public here is on that application, but I do have to legally make an announcement that on the application number 20-2023P, the 341 Route 34 LLC Centerstone application that is being adjourned this evening, is being rescheduled to the October 26, 2023 board meeting without further notice. So if there's any, for the record, if there's anyone here or watching at home that was looking to watch that application, the hearing on that application, it's being rescheduled to the October meeting without further notice.
You got that, guys? In case you want to watch it? Okay. Just look at the faces. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, no, not at all. Okay, so, I don't open it up. Okay, so we have no public portion, so no, we don't have to open anything up to the public, so I'm asking for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, can I be
Yes.
recognized, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, thank you. Stand over here. I just want to personally and publicly thank all of you for your hard work all year. Yesterday, we saw the fruits of this board's labor with the opening of the new golf course yesterday. But tonight, I would like to acknowledge and recognize our chair, Dean, who was leaving us. This will be his last meeting, as we know. So I would ask Dean to please join me at the podium over here, and if his family would please come up. And if anyone thinks being the chair of the planning board is easy, it's not. And Dean, I think, needs to be applauded for his leadership over the last number of years, taking planning board to a new level that we've never seen before, the dreaded Zoom meeting, and how hard it is to conduct a meeting of such importance when people are not there in the room with you, Dean. And some of the toughest applications, the SEGME application, you brought this board through. So we're really going to miss you. We really are. And I think everybody up here knows, and everybody in town knows how hard this board works and how much it takes to be a leader of a board like this. So I'd just like to present Dean Marucci in grateful appreciation and recognition for your 11 years of dedicated service to the Old Bridge Township Planning Board as a member and then as a chair. And most of all, best wishes on all your future endeavors for Mayor Owen Henry and the Planning Board. And it means a lot to be handing this to you, Dean. Thank you. Sorry. And it's important to know that Dean's family, all the time he spent here with us, he was away from them. So
Well, they're
we
probably
thank
happy
you
for
too.
that.
Yeah, well, we thank you for sharing him with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
In all my, the time I've spent here with everybody, I've learned a lot from everybody. I stated it in my email, and couldn't have done it without everybody. It's a group effort, and everybody puts a lot of time and effort in, and it's much appreciated. And this was totally unexpected, and I don't know what else to say. So
Can you
thank
come
you.
up to the mic and have us have our say?
Okay.
Say something? Come on up. We need board comments now. We need board comments.
No, it's not council, planning board.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you have any comments from the board professionals?
I have one. So from the days in the old penalty box,
Yep.
we've moved up pretty far, and you've really taken this board, as the mayor said, forward. Really done a great job. We'll miss you.
Well, I sat next to the OG for how many years learning and watching, and hope that I lived up to that, filled those shoes.
Yeah, I would like to just say, I think you've done a great job, and it's really been a wonderful experience serving with you. And you've always kept your cool under some difficult circumstances, the whole Zoom thing, and then just
The singing.
crazy meetings. But I wish you the very, very best, and I'm sure you'll enjoy your new home, and we'll miss you, and you have to come back and visit.
Absolutely will. We've talked about it. We're going to be up here quite often.
Okay,
I
great.
mean, I've been here 58 years, and it's going to be hard for me to just leave New Jersey. And, it's tough. It's very difficult, but we're going to make it work. And I completely forgot the whole, yeah, so. Sorry. Okay, any more comments from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, so Dean, on behalf of the council, thank you. When folks sit up there, being an elected official is one thing, being a volunteer is a totally different thing. Sitting on the redevelopment board prior to becoming a councilman, there's a lot to it. I don't think folks understand the work that each and every one of the folks up here put into it. But on behalf of the council, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Best of luck.
Thanks, much appreciated. And same thing to everybody that volunteers their time. It's, you're away from your families, you're away from, sometimes you don't feel like coming, you're like, oh, I gotta go to the meeting, and you go, and you do what you have to do. And I like to think that we all put our fingerprints all over Old Bridge, and the reason when Mayor appointed me 11 years ago is I thought it was just a great way to get involved with the community I've loved. I mean, we moved here 20 years ago, and it's my kid's hometown. Not mine, but it now is my adopted hometown. It's my kid's hometown, and it's just nice to know that you've had your hands in bettering the community and keeping your eye on things. Uh-oh.
Told you it was going to be
Did she have a tomato in her hand?
I just wanted to tell you guys, when he said this is our kid's hometown, it made me think, I don't know if anyone's ever heard the story of how we ended up in Old Bridge. Dean was in Hunterdon County, I was in Somerset County. We didn't live together, but we were dating, and he said we didn't want to live where we lived. So we got in the car one day, we started driving, and we got on the parkway, and he's like, how about this exit? I'm not kidding. And we got off the exit, 120, and we ended up at the Wawa on 34. We got a newspaper, because back then there were still apartments for rent in the newspaper. And we found a condo on Knoll Court, diagonally across from the golf course, which I told Mayor Henry the other day, there was a sign when we moved in 20 years ago. It said, coming soon, municipal golf course.
Yep, pretty soon.
And we rented for a year, decided we loved it, and bought our first house.
The rest is history.
Yep.
Glad you came.
I just thought everybody would like that little anecdote that we just ended up here by chance because we decided to get off at that exit.
Yeah, it was by fate. It was really by fate.
Oh, and I wanted to tell everyone too, where we're going in South Carolina, we found out the middle school they're going to be Knights. It's the Northwood Knights. They use the same clip art.
The same logo as the Old Bridge Knights.
So at some point, all of my children will have been Knights.
And it's bizarre. It's the same exact logo. It's really it's kind of a sign.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird sign. But okay, one thing that I needed to address that I kind of skipped over is the nominations to fill the chair spot and the vice chair spot. So in discussions with everybody, we decided that we would like to nominate.
Do we do that now? Do we do that?
Yeah, I was going to say, that we can do that now, but what we'll basically by saying that this is Dean's last meeting, and so knowing that for the next meeting, we can either do it at the beginning of the next meeting, or we can do it now at the end of this meeting, where we entertain nominations and move forward. Do it at the next meeting? Okay, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's not let him leave with that pressure.
Okay. Leave as chairman.
We don't want to scare anybody else away.
All right. So then, with no further ado, can I have a motion for adjournment for my last meeting on the Old Bridge Planning Board?
I'll move it.
Ms.
Second.
Cannon?
Second.
By Mr. De Palma.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And again, thank you so much, everybody. This was completely unexpected, and I'm trying to choke back, I'm not an emotional guy, but I'm trying to, choke back those emotions. It really means a lot. And this will hang prominently in my
I was going to
bathroom.
say, in your new house.